Welcome back to continuing coverage of the 6th World Teqball Championships, live from the capital of Thailand. This is the Bangkok Arena in the historic capital in the Nang Chong district. We've already had the bronze medal matches. They were the hors d'oeuvre. Pretty tasty, but I think we still have room for the main events in the $250,000 World Championships. The 6th time that it has been staged, but the first ever outside of Europe. And coming up, a guest appearance from Ronaldinho as well, sandwiched in between the women's and the men's finals. First up, as you can see, will be Kuntatong against Rafaela Fontes. A real clash of styles. Be interesting to see how that one goes. Then Team Ronaldinho taking on Team Thailand. Big welcome for the genius, the footballing genius from Brazil at the airport when he arrived yesterday. And lots of Brazil supporters in the crowd for sure. Many of them local people, but quite a few have followed over here and a few expats as well. So the women's final is up first, and this is what we've been waiting for then. Kuntatong has taken the world of Teq by storm, quite literally, along with some of her male counterparts. The attacking overhead style, and developed with the sport of Sepak Takraw, has really served Thai players well, and the crowd is anxiously awaiting their local hero in this one. They've met once before and it went the way of the Brazilian, but Kuntatong is a much better player now, and it was tied even then with just a couple of points in the sets between them. They really lit up the doubles as much as the singles, Kuntatong, and came through a fabulous quarter-final against Jeanette Janicek, having lost the first set earlier in the week. So Joris Denisset is the French referee for this encounter, and he'll be assisted underneath the camera by Ahmed El Kakou. And here come the two athletes who've made it through to the final. The first gold medal of the 6th World Teqball Championships will be decided in the next hour or so. Will it be the local hero? Will it be the Thai player from Lamphun near Chiang Mai, the 25-year-old Kuntatong? Or will it be her more experienced opponent, even though she's only 21, Rafaela Fontes Jimenez from Brazil? A real star already, even at her tender age. Winner on tour in June in LA in the women's doubles. Bronze in the last event as well. And looking imperious on her way to the final. Has not dropped a set and demolished Kinga Barabashi, Europe's finest. 12-3, 12-11 in the semi-final. If you were watching that a little earlier on the live feed. Broadcasting around the world. Teqball YouTube channel is always on as well for those matches that aren't being broadcast on the bigger screens. And a little look at the two competitors then who've made it through to the showpiece event. Kuntatong, just like almost all Thai players, intent on attack. We saw the differences in Rafaela Fontes' play in her semi-final and her route to the final as well. Hasn't dropped a set this week, and indeed only once has an opponent got more than 7 in any of the sets that they played against Rafaela Fontes. A minute's warm-up is over, and we are about to play. The 2023 Women's World Champion will be known at the end of 2 or 3 sets.
Ball, please.
Yeah, I think that was
ball, please.
An extra little practice rally they managed to get in before we get underway. Now French referee, Monsieur Denisset, will call the players to order.
Ready?
Bedlam in the Bangkok Arena here.
First set, first serve.
Fairly new stadium that was opened in 2015. Qualifiers actually were not played here. They were played in the Hua Mak Arena, outdoor facility. Fontes reacting quickly to the little chip back over the net, but forced her opponent back, expecting the big hit, and just dinked it neatly over the net. Well, he uses her head in a thinking way More than just the sniper headers
First
you can
service.
expect, and takes the opening point, Rafaela Fontes.
Out.
Got that one all wrong. Served really well in the semi-final in particular, I thought.
Second service.
She completely dominated her opponent.
Point to Thailand.
Well, we'll get that reaction every time that she takes a point. May it be a little bit more pressure on her in front of her home crowd, but she didn't show it there. Executed perfectly, didn't try to hit it too hard. Got depth.
First service.
Always difficult for a player when it hits the back of the table. You're never quite sure what angle it's going to come off at. Oh, she did well there to leave that. You can do 2 touches, don't have to do 3.
Point to Brazil.
But it only prolonged the inevitable as the Brazilian took the point. Fontes from Rio de Janeiro plays for the time Teqball Rio club. Former world champion herself back in 2021 when she was a teenager, won the first ever women's doubles. The years prior to that it was an open category. And Jude Stipper, she got the edge.
Illegal return.
Oh,
Point to Brazil.
she's surprised by that. She does have an appeal if she wants one, but it's very early in proceedings to use up an appeal.
Change of service.
So 3-1 after the first 4 serves, and now the Thai player
First
is playing
service.
catch up a little bit. Needs to make sure she doesn't go any further behind during these 4.
Net.
This looks a little edgy. No sign of that in the
Second
semi-final
service.
when she had a brilliant win over the defending champion. Put out Caroline Greco, Californian girl. Oh, here comes the overhead.
Ow.
Misses it though.
Point to Brazil.
You'll see a few of those. A little nod towards her coach of the team. The Brazilians have also got into the act in terms of the decibels.
First service.
Holding their own against the majority Thai crowd here in Bangkok.
Net.
Yeah, again, glances off the top of the net. Even if it had hit the table, which it didn't, would still
Second
have been a
serve.
fault on serve. VIP area behind, by the way, in case you were wondering. Lots of dignitaries. A lot of them we'll see in the presentation ceremony a little later. Many members of the international Olympic committees and national committees around the world. Fontes going in for the kill with a powerful header. Now she goes back, but it's the
Point to
fault
Brazil.
from Kuntatong, which gives Rafaela Fontes the point to the delight of the supporters either in the gold shirts or the blue shirts. Have another look here at the technique. Seemed in a perfect position. Maybe a little worried by the impending halfway line. Was rushing towards her. Might have just taken her eye slightly off
First
the ball
service.
there. So now facing a bit of trouble. Having lost the first 2
Point
serves.
Thailand.
But a service winner enlivens the crowd. She gives a little jump for joy herself and reduces the arrears by 1 to 3 points. Textbook serve. Low, firm.
First service.
If you're going to get it to bounce high on the table, you want it to be very high from a long way back like Fontes does, but the low, flat serve makes it difficult. Fontes dealt with it really well, but Jun Tipper worked out the angles well. Uses the head, just biding her time, hoping she gets a chance to set herself up for the spectacular.
As
Oh, hits the edge. She'll have to replay it. She will not win the point. Bit of an escape there for the Brazilian, I feel. Fontes must have been fearing the worst. And although it seems like a very healthy lead at 5-3, as we look again at the edge being caught there, if
First service.
just gets a couple of points in a row here, the crowd will start really going crazy. It could be difficult for the Brazilian in this bear pit of an atmosphere. Neat change up by
Foot.
Kuntatong.
Repeated return. Point to Thailand.
So she used the foot in successive final touches in the rally. She's querying it,
Left foot.
asking whether it's
Left.
worth an appeal.
Change of service.
She's not going to appeal then, and so the serve goes over, and the arrears have been reduced.
First service.
Contest, remember, 5-1 up, 2 points in a row, one by default, really. Lays it up short, but not short enough to get a second bounce on the table. And the aggression is into the
Side
side,
ball.
I think. Yep, side
Point
ball.
to Brazil.
Knows that she should have made that one. First ever World Championships in Teqball were back in 2017 in Budapest, the birthplace of this amazing sport. Over 20 nations were represented, but
First
now,
service.
just a few years later, even allowing for a year out with the pandemic, We've got over 60 nations represented. Oh, here we go! Brilliant from Kuntatong. Good defending though. Fontesh will come back at it. Oh, but she chested into the net. She did the hard work, but stumbled over the easiest. Well, it's all relative. As I tell you, it's not that easy chesting over from that point.
Service.
Maybe just a little excited. Here we go with a big ball to the back, forcing her opponent to retreat quite away. Fontesh setting herself up for the header this time. Kuntatong can have a go with the swing of the foot. She's just not nailing it yet though. Gets away and she's happy. Look at her reaction. Clearly she felt that was going to be a side ball and a point against her. Huge relief. She gets another bite of the metaphorical cherry. And we can go again with this 11th point. The score still 6-4.
First service.
Indoors, quite a lot of events in the Teqball Tour being played outdoors, on beaches, and in other brilliant settings. And this one inside.
Point to Brazil.
It means that the conditions are more equal. You don't have to cope with variants like a dipping sun or a crosswind or sand blowing up.
First service.
And it's fitting for the finals day in one of the biggest cities in South Asia. Fontesh, little header, good return, quick. It's a little tippy-tappy there. So Fontesh put it long. And from 4 points, the gap earlier, it's back down to 2.
Change of service.
Change the serve again. Rafaela Fontesh still in a measure of control, but was really hoping it'd be 8-4 as it is.
First serve.
5-7. With this Thai player serving
Net.
now. Diminutive, but more small as some of the players on the team. It's a
Second
birthday in
serve.
3 weeks. What a Christmas and birthday present this would be combined. Teqball Tour takes a break at
Point
the
to
end
Brazil.
of this tournament, at the end of the season. We'll resume in 2024. And you can keep up to date when the calendar is announced by visiting the FITEQ
First
website,
service.
FITEQ. FITEQ, the governing body. Federation International of Teqball. Now the Thai player in pole position to win this one, and she does do so. Was celebrating even before Fontesh had completed her attempted return, I think. Must have seen that her opponent's foot was not in the right position. Yeah, just a toenail. Never going to hook it back on. Mental positivity.
First service.
Believing. Kuntatong back within striking distance now. The gap is not getting more than 2, but we're coming towards the end of the set. First to 12 wins. Brilliant. But Fontesh is there, as she so often is. Should get this back as well. Uses the chest well. Here it comes again, maybe. No, it goes for the header sniper that time. No, what a headed winner that is. Brilliant sniper.
Edge ball.
And it's been called an edge ball to her disbelief, and she's appealing immediately.
Sharon
Well, you saw
requested
that
by Brazil
Kuntatong was
for
making
no edge ball.
the sign that she thought it was edge ball. The ball came late. Now, where did it hit? Here we go. It wasn't the edge. It looked, to me, good in with the naked eye. Oh, wow, that's so difficult to tell. To hit the edge from that distance on a dipping table is really difficult. She might win her appeal here, but it's got to be a clear and obvious error. I'm not sure. I think I'd say it is legal, but will it be overturned because it's not clear and obvious? How many times do you have to look at it? Don't envy the guys in the truck watching this one. In some sports where it's not definitive, you get to keep your challenge, but you won't. If this stays as an edge ball because there's no absolute proof, then the Brazilian will lose her challenge for the entire match. Here comes the French referee.
Challenge is completed. No edge ball.
Oh, she's won her
Point to
appeal.
Brazil.
She gets the point, she keeps her
Challenge
appeal.
remains.
Well, with the naked eye, I thought it looked good. And so it was.
First service.
Kuntatong didn't really leave that one. She hoped. Fontesh getting a boost by that though. Opens the gap to 3, which it hasn't been for a while. Back comes Kuntatong. Fontesh with a header. Careful not to go over the halfway and wins it. Wow, I told you she used her head. Figuratively and physically. And on this side, the sniper header.
Change of service.
Bang!
Brazil to
Point
serve.
1. 4 points the gap now, 10-6. I said
First
earlier
service.
today in the third place playoff matches that for the women quite often points are conceded on serve, and Kuntatong has to attack now. Kuntatong did well there, trying to catch Fontesh out of position. Again, she has to make up ground. Played early with just the 2 touches by the Thai player. Kuntatong again, setting herself up now. You know it, but she misses it.
Point to Brazil.
At the moment, the punchlines are not funny for Kuntatong and the crowd here as the Brazilian takes control and has 5 set points in the final. Women's singles champion 2023 to be decided. Fontesh has the aces, goes with a big booming looping serve to the back, but the Thai player's on it, gets the
Point
table
Thailand.
this time. No edge ball, brilliant hit, but she has to do that 4 more times and then win it when it gets to 11 all.
First service.
Same again will do. Take any part of your body with a 3rd touch. It's a repeat. Not an action replay, it's real life. This time Fontesh gets it back, but it'll be coming at her again. Goes short. Oh,
Out.
brilliant.
Point to Thailand.
You could see what Fontesh was trying to do there. Celebrations on pause in the Brazilian camp.
First service.
She loses another point, she'll be getting a little edgy. Set was almost lost for Kuntatong at 11-6. Issue over halfway, no signal given. Fontesh to win it. Doesn't do so. Needs to use her head or shoulder or chest or something there. Used her head. Shoulder this time from the Brazilian. Here comes Kuntatong. Oh, played it short when the Brazilian was back, but she was wary of it. Now struggling to stay in this set. Can head it. Makes herself time. Well recovered after a tricky first effort. Brilliant
Point
short.
to Brazil.
Harvester header.
Brazil.
Takes the set. 12 points to 6. Magical stuff for the 21-year-old from Rio. Hasn't exactly silenced the crowd or herself, has she? Wow, she packs a punch. One of the smallest athletes in the field. Battled her way through to the final, almost without a scrape. Was taken to a deciding point in the semi of the 2nd set against Kinga Barabashi. But it's South America to the fore here.
J'ai pris le compromis entre les deux, quoi. Je t'ai dit.
C'était
Well, it was at times exhilarating and brilliant opening set. Let's hope for more of the same. Obviously, as a neutral, we would absolutely love it to go to 3 sets because the Thai crowd would be really up for it then. At the moment, it's the Brazilians. Sound like there are a few famous sailors in there as well in the crowd here to try and raise the atmosphere anymore. Some brilliant rallies, and that was the one that sealed the set. For Rafaela Fontesh Jimenez. Brazilian takes it, 12-6. Well, the minute is up. Players will be called back to order here. And the 2nd set will be getting underway. The Thai flags in the crowd, but plenty of Brazilian, quite a few big Brazilian flags as well. The stats from the first set show you that 92% of Fontesh's first serves were in those big, booming, looping serves to the back, and 4 winners to 1, and 8 unforced errors from Kuntatong. Well, she might have settled down a little bit now after that poor
2nd
start.
set.
She was 5-1
First
down,
serve.
remember, and lost it by 6 in the end, but I think she'll make a better start to this 2nd set and could quite easily take it to a decider. Just needs a bit of momentum here. Playing cautiously. Cries of Brazil going up here from the South Americans in the audience.
point to Brazil.
Not endearing herself to the locals, is she? Celebrations like that right in front of them. You can see what it means.
First service.
Never been a world champion in singles. First world championships that had a women's singles came in 2021.
Point to Brazil.
Wow! On that occasion, it was the Hungarian Anna Ishak who won it, and last year it was Caroline Greco of the United States. Is it heading to South America, the women's title this time?
First service.
expected Kuntatong to make a
Second
Kuntatong
serve.
to make a better start of this second set, but it hasn't materialised yet, and pressure is getting to her here. Fontesh is flying. A little stab over the net. Oh, and a
Point
mistake
to
from the
Thailand.
Brazilian. The first mistake makes so few of them. She has to be aggressive here, Kuntatong. She has to
First service.
unsettle Fontesh. Oh, lovely spinning serve, well positioned. Fontesh took it really well. Oh, that's
Point to
magical.
Brazil.
She makes that look so easy, but
Danger
let me
service.
tell you it isn't. A spinning ball, controlled it beautifully on her thigh, and then the slice just to make sure it bounces twice on the table. You ain't getting your foot under that one.
First
I
service.
think the samba beat's going to be sounding soon here, the way this one's going, but 3-1 against serve, it's not irretrievable. Just needs the crowd to get behind her here. Needs to give them one big overhead smash or one sniper header to reawaken the belief.
Out.
The error
Point to
is
Thailand.
a relief. And if she can just throw in one of those spectacular overhead winners, the place will really erupt and she can feed off the supporters in the crowd. The Thai flags are waving
service.
again on the far side as I watch from the main stand here. Kuntatong, here she goes. Oh, fooled her all of us. Just showed a little bit too much. Enough time for Fontesh to recover. And
Out.
misses.
Point to Brazil.
Fairly regulation shot. I think she changed her mind there. Well, so far, it's virtually a repeat of the
First
opening
service.
set where she just couldn't get level after a bit of a slack start. This time she's going for it. Good defence. She'll have to still do work. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant work from Fontesh. And then she was wrong-footed as well, but gets it back under order. Good defence from the Thai. She'll have to head it over this time. Options here, though, for the Brazilian. The foot isn't an aggressive one. It just continues to rally. Now the aggression could come from the Thai player. Super defence again. The chest back from the Brazilian. Header down. Still unfazed Fontesh. It's a difficult one, very near the edge of the table. Beautiful footwork from the Thai player. Kuntatong struggling here. She's kept it under control magnificently. Rally of the day, rally of the finals. It's still unsure which way the point is going. The crowd are so into this one. Fontesh again leading by a set. How the Thai player needs this one. Goes for the big winner. Oh, it's still not done. Would you believe it? Fontesh, she just still
ball.
will not give in. After all that, it's a drawn point. Losing my voice, can't believe what we're seeing. Listen to this atmosphere. You will not see many better points than that in a singles match. The doubles can be more spectacular. Even Ronaldinho is celebrating. Wow. Follow that. Well, he will be. He'll be on after this. Team Ronaldinho. But who gets the gold here? Well, both deserve a gold for that last rally. Again, brilliant positioning, super defence from the 21-year-old from Rio de Janeiro. A local player from near Chiang Mai. Kuntatong puts it back and she's going to be struggling here. Kuntatong from distance can't get it back on the table. And so at the end of that marathon rally before, and the replay point, eventually it goes to Fontesh and she keeps a 3-point
First service.
5-2. Good two touches to set up the big one. Oh, she's done it again. Positioning is superb. And from such a distance to chest it over, just nonchalantly. Short this time from Kuntatong. And she just can't get control of the next point. Rafaela Fontesh is playing the game of her life. She knew she'd have to be at her very best to take on such a talented, unorthodox attacking player.
Change of service. Thailand to serve.
And just how good has she been in defence and attack. 6-2, second set.
service.
Slipping away the hopes of a home nation gold medal in the singles. About to be extinguished maybe, unless she can turn this around.
Point to Thailand.
She's made a couple of mistakes, Fontesh, and there's another one. Trying to go
First
down
service.
the short side, down the line, but should have at least hit the side ball.
Net.
Well, she's fighting fire
Second
with fire
serve.
here, going for the first serve that was long and bouncy. The second serve a bit more conservative. Gets her angles right there, Kuntatong rather, and this time, oh, she's wrong-footed there. Good header from Fontesh, but recovered brilliantly. Just gets the safe area at the end of the table. Oh, can she retrieve this one? No, she can't.
Point to Brazil.
The third touch was involuntary as it stroked the side of her head. And Fontesh, remarkable standard, is maintained in the 10th point. Sees her go 7-3 up. Anguish on the face. Couldn't get out of the
First
way.
service.
6th World Championships, just the third women's singles event. Good footwork there from Kuntatong. Moves in with aggression, but it didn't have the elevation for the big swing, the overhead kick. Can't use the foot again, so has to go for the header. Does well, can set herself up for something here. Oh!
Repeated
fault call.
return. Point Thailand.
So again, Fontesh lost track of how she played the previous point. The final touch before it goes across the net to your opponent's half must be with a different part of the body to the
First
previous
service.
final touch that you played. So a couple of points gifted there here. 7-4 now. Stabbed it down the straight line, usually across the angles. Oh, they're playing on here. Controversy there. Fontesh thought she'd won the point. She's still appealing. Oh, she
point
gets
to
the point
Brazil.
anyway. Well, that would have been controversial, wouldn't it? Still hasn't appealed, so she'd lost the point. She could have appealed.
Change of service.
Oh, timeout has been called here by
Timeout for
Kuntatong.
Thailand.
So 60-second timeout in the women's final. Both players have the option of using a timeout at some point. But it's Fontesh who has not buckled in the face of the pressure and a partisan crowd. She has a whole lot of support herself. And struggling. Kuntatong, physically and mentally. First ever Thai player in a World Championship semi-final. Studying for an MBA, by the way, Kuntatong. Plays for the Women's Thai Teqball Club. The crowd are loving it, even if the local hero is being beaten at the moment. Coming up then, the gala game, the exhibition match featuring Ronaldinho after the conclusion of this one. And we also have the men's singles final as well to round off the first of the 2 days of final. Tomorrow, Sunday, in Bangkok, it's all about the doubles. You'd better not miss that because that gets spectacular, to say the very least. If you think this has been
Change
great
of service.
and full of drama,
Brazil
you
to serve.
probably haven't seen anything yet. But the singles action, this has been scintillating stuff.
First service.
So a decisive advantage perhaps. Can indecision be brought into the equation with a Thai comeback? Fontesh defence has been brilliant today. Here comes the big one. Oh, directed
Point to
it well.
Thailand.
Changed the natural angle there, wrapped her foot around it a little more, took some of the power off, and it was enough to defeat Fontesh on this occasion. Because every time she's
First service.
nailed the overhead, I think Fontesh has got it back. Big bouncing ball to the back.
Out. Point to
mistake.
Brazil.
Absolutely infuriating as a techer when you make such an elementary mistake after such a good point previously. Well, we've seen it in
First
action
service.
before on a Teqball court.
Net.
One of only a handful of players to win all the big prizes
Second service.
in football and turn to a bit of futsal as well, I think, in India at one stage. Ronaldinho, Fontesh, oh, is that over halfway? Not called, looked in my angle like it might have been. She'll try and win it anyway. Kuntatong does
Point
win it
to
this
Thailand.
time. That's what I was asking for in the first set. Look at the reaction. And the crowd will lift her. If she is tiring, if she was feeling a bit deflated, well, that'll help. Watch the body position, the eyes on the ball, fixed. All of the parts of the body move. The eyes, the head are still. And the foot does the work. They've got such a good angle on it.
First service.
At last, Fontes didn't get one back. 9-6. Setting herself up again. This time didn't quite have the preferred angle. A little bit shielded from the ball. Can't use her foot again. Oh, and the
Point
stretching.
to Brazil.
And yet again, one good point gives way to giving one away. Just when it looked like she might be able to launch a comeback.
Change of service, silent to serve.
9-7 as it is, 10-6. Can't afford
First service.
slip-ups now. Needs a clean sweep to get level with these 4 serves.
Net.
Went for the aggressive, but hasn't nailed many
Second
first serves, or as many as she needed. Now the big bounce to force her opponent back behind the service line, but Fontes is quickly in, only with the header though. Has a chance here with an aggressive move. Did well. Fontes will use her chest, but too
Out.
much.
Point to Thailand.
Gets it back to 3. It's stubbornly been 2 or 3 points throughout the match, occasionally stretched up to 4 or 5, but
First service.
just keeps hinting of a comeback, but not fulfilling the promise for her supporters inside the arena in Bangkok. Tried to fool her again, but Fontes was waiting for the short one. On the Teqball table, has to use her head. Nearly, I thought was going to use her foot again, which would have given the point away. Shoved it back very quickly, not to give Fontes time. Rushed her. Fontes recovered well. Kuntatong sets herself up. Bicycle kick incoming. Repelled. Still Fontes going. Too much on that.
Out. Point to Thailand.
Well, that'll help. The lead is down to 2. We're in the home straight. Who can stay the course? Will we get the final set that we all crave? I think everyone apart from those wearing Brazilian shirts
Time out. Brazil.
would want it. And that's canny. We've only just had one timeout, and now we're having another after a little bit of momentum was being built up by the Thai player, just trying to disrupt that momentum. Well, there's been a lot of media coverage here in Thailand of Teqball even before this event, and it's only multiplying. Live coverage on the TV channel, even the news programmes showing the event here. A lot of competence. Athletes have found this sport to their liking, having played a variant, a similar sport called Sepak Takraw, where they play with similar skills but on a court over a volleyball style net. Well, the skill that is needed to time that. And the men do it just as well, and had to put her hands down to avoid a nasty fall as well. I think she just about saw that she won the point. Has the momentum been disrupted? Can she keep it going? The 60 seconds have elapsed. 25-year-old serving against
First
the
service.
21-year-old in the yellow shirt, waiting to receive. To try and keep it low,
Net.
powerful over the net, but again, the defence is so good from the
Second serve.
Brazilian that just striving to improve the serve a little bit more. Fontes working, working
Out,
nicely in
point
the
to Thailand.
position, but it's a mistake from Fontes. So now we're down to 1 point. She didn't manage to get this close in that first set where she lost 12-6, got it back to 7-5. But the Brazilian recovered. The belief is back here, I think, for Kuntatong. Came from a set down in the
First
quarterfinal to beat famous Tekker Janet Janicek. Lost that one convincingly, 12-6. Lost the first set here, 12-6. Can she repeat the performance? Won 12-10 in the second set against Janicek. Nearly bagged another point there to get level at 10-10. Fontes has the defence of a champion though. That's good as well. Fontes steadied so easily with that first touch. Made it look like it's child's play. And it's bounced twice on the table. Point to Thailand. 10-10 in the women's final. Excellent comeback. The timeout didn't disrupt her. The gentle touch and the second bounce made sure the point was hers. Fontes just hoping it went beyond the end of the table, or the side of the table, but it didn't. 4 career titles already at major level for Fontes. Oh, first one she's missed for a while, and that could be crucial. It's match point now for Rafaela Fontes. winner in June in the women's doubles in LA. Disappointed in a home event in Rio in September to only take bronze. On the verge here of becoming world champion for the first time. Thailand, hopes alive, it's a great one. Surely not. She's struggling. Oh my goodness me, it's magnificent. Can she wrap it off in style now? Sniper header, she can! She can! Rafaela Fontes, the Teqball world salutes you. Sensational stuff, it's just breathtaking. The Thai player defeated on home territory, but you cannot argue with the defence turned into attack repeatedly by 21-year-old Rafaela Fontes. Let the samba party begin. Nod of knowledge from Ronaldinho. One master acknowledges another. Oh, she can't believe it. The tears are indeed flowing. Looks up, I think a little higher even than him, into the sky. And the predominantly devout Catholic country celebrates a victory and a performance from the heavens from Fontes. I think, in all honesty, Kuntatong was not quite at the level she had been previously in the tournament. But new ground broken from Thailand, the first ever player from Asia to make the semi-finals of the World Championship. But for Rafaela Fontes, she becomes the third ever women's singles champion and the first from South America. 3 winners from Europe, Anna Izak, from North America, Caroline Greco. But she is replaced by Rafaela Fontes, who wrapped up victory in this point. How can you win a point from there? You watch and you'll find out. Just super defence. Needed to do more there, I think. Kuntatong, and wins it with a header. 12-6, 12-10. Really brilliant match. Far more exciting than the scoreline might suggest. Well, we went from Budapest in Hungary to Rheims in France to Gliwice in Poland and then to Nuremberg last year. 12 months on, here in Asia for the first time, we witness a little bit more history. No European in the final. Now let's see statistically how she won it. Well, 24 points to 18 with a 6-10 victory. 6 winners, which is high, and good first serving. Points won as well, and 91% of first serves in. She just nails that big looping one. 17